Welcome to Drum and
Fucking hell.
Oh,
You do it at the same
amazing.
time.
Yeah.
Go on, George, you do it.
Welcome to Drum and Drummer. Got to get it in quick. Oh,
Yes.
as an actress. Oh, fuck's sake.
Welcome to Drum and Drummer, a podcast focused on drums, drumming and drummers. I'm George Pickering and that's Ben Winty, and we are both professional drummers in this business we call music. So stick around and join us as we pass the time whilst trying to stay in time.
Face down on a table for 5 hours yesterday.
And how was the tattoo?
Good? That's great stuff.
Welcome to another episode of Drum and Drummer with me, Ben Winty. Georgie boy, how you doing, mate?
I'm good. How are you doing? You right?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. Yeah, thank you.
Good day. Anything new? Did you say thank you or fuck you?
I said thank you.
Oh, right,
I
cool.
could say fuck you again if you want.
That'd be
Fuck
quite
you,
an
George.
aggressive way to
Fuck
start
you,
the
man. Yeah.
podcast.
Welcome to Drum and Drummer. Fuck you.
Yeah, I've had a good day, thanks. Fuck you.
Fuck you. Yeah, no, I had a lovely birthday.
Oh, yeah. What did you get up to again?
I went to see Doctor Strange,
Nice.
Multiverse of Madness at the cinema, had a Nando's for lunch, and then I had a cracking game of five-a-side where I leathered in 5 goals with my sweet, sweet left foot.
That's
Thank you
nice.
very much. Yeah.
How's the Lego that I bought you, just to make me seem like a good person?
Oh, very nice. Yeah, thank you very much for that gift. Turned up to
It's all
work.
right.
There it was on the desk.
Yep.
Lovely bit of sort of like Iron Man Lego.
Well, I'll run you through that very quickly. So I went into a Lego store knowing nothing about Lego. This is something I've done for you a few times in our friendship. Gone into a Lego
It's
store.
like my Lego lackey.
Yeah, willy-nilly. And a lovely assistant has come up to me and gone, "Hi, can I help you?" And I go, "Yes, I have no idea what I'm looking for." And they go, Would you? I say, "Well, I got a friend. He loves Lego, but I know nothing." And they go, "Well, what's?" I said, "Well, he's into Marvel." They were like, "Right, here's the Marvel section, sir." And they were like, "What's your price range?" And I was like, "I don't know,
Low.
like, yeah,
Low. What's the lowest?
yeah.
Right.
What's the cheapest?" Yeah, I want beyond just above one little Lego man figure. And yeah, she said this one is tricky. What is it? An Iron Man? Was it Iron Man?
Yes, Iron Man. It's kind of like it makes an Iron Man's face on a sort of 3D sort of picture frame.
Yeah, and
And
she
it has a
said
little
it's.
stand in the back that you can flip out and.
Well,
flip
that's what I
stands,
thought,
yeah.
because you're a man that likes to display his Lego, and
time.
I thought that's perfect. And she was like, "It is quite tricky to do as well." And I thought, well, there you go. That's it. Was
I know
it?
you went,
Was it tricky?
Don't worry about that.
Yeah,
He's an absolute veteran.
this is it. He'll do it while
The
watching.
fact that I'm essentially being employed to come get Lego for him
Yeah,
on numerous occasions.
Yeah.
He's that well versed in the world of Lego.
exactly.
Yeah, I had a lovely birthday.
Fantastic.
Well, today, mate, let's crack on. We got an interview with Curtis.
Yep, Curtis Aaron,
Yeah.
an old friend of mine who I actually have only ever met once, and what we have in common is we did a contract in Mallorca, and that was kind of perfect actually, because you don't know him and I vaguely know him, so it led to many questions I had about his life as a cruise drummer and someone in the industry who does a lot of contracts abroad. He also does various other projects with artists, and he's getting into writing now. But yeah, it was a good chat we had with Curtis.
Yeah, got a bit
Very
silly
funny.
at some points.
Yeah, I'd say it was our
had a
silliest.
very good time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so cruise ship drummer, I mean, and he was on a cruise ship when COVID hit.
Yeah,
That was quite
Which is-
interesting. Hear about that. And he's a bloody lovely looking lad.
he's as you
Cracking
mentioned to him
looking
at the
lad,
end.
isn't he?
Yeah, he's
You
a
know.
very good looking boy.
But great lad. And we had a lovely chat. So
We did.
here it
Enjoy.
is. Enjoy it, please.
Right, I'm going to begin by talking about how we met. Do you remember how we met? When
No,
we met?
George, no. No, no, I do.
It
I
obviously
do. Of
meant
course I
way
remember.
more to me than it did to you. No.
No.
Well, I'll give a quick backstory. So in 2017, I've obviously talked about this before, but I did a contract abroad in Mallorca, just playing in bands for, I mean, how would you describe the job? Because you did it as well. So it was sort of like,
So like a touring hotel band?
yeah, hotel entertainment. And basically, I mean, were you part of 2 shows as well? Or,
Yes, I was
Yeah.
part of Rock All Stars and I want to say the School of Rock, but I'm not sure. Is that-
Yeah, but it was the
Is that
same lineup, wasn't it?
Yeah, the same 4 guys.
Yeah, because I was the same. So I played in 2 different shows. But the thing was, the whole time I was out there, I kept hearing people talking about you, going, "Oh, there was this drummer here last year, and he was great, and he was, you know, endless stories." No, they were like, "Oh, he could stay out all night, and then he'd still make it to the gym the next day." And there was all these like, yeah, literally.
Maybe he's like a meathead for all the people not watching them.
Yeah, exactly. But then, yeah, I remember someone was like, "Oh, he's gonna come, you know, for like a week." I don't know why he came. I don't know if it was like a holiday or like the tax thing that we have to do.
Ah, yes.
Do you remember?
I remember. Yeah, that was right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think it was 2017, was it?
I think. Well, that's when I was at. Unless
were you there in 2015?
I was there 2017.
I swear we were. Or were we? Were we working together?
No, never.
Oh.
I would have loved it, but sadly not. But anyway.
Oh my god. Okay, that makes more sense now. Right.
But but anyway, you came out and we had a lovely dinner together. Me, you, Owen, Nick Dart. And then I can't remember if it was that night.
Port. Yeah.
Yeah. And I remember we went to, the only time I really chatted to you was Nikki Beach. Do you remember Nikki Beach?
I remember it well, yeah. The cocktail place.
Or a beach?
Yeah, yeah.
Sounds like a 90s boy band, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Beach, yeah.
It's the local hooker down Alcudia. No.
Mates with Tommy House.
Yeah.
Johnny Road.
Dave Lane. So we
I got nothing. They were really good though.
No, they were. You're too kind. But I remember that was kind of like the only time we've spoke, and I just remember we had a chat about drums and music, and also just the life of doing the contract, because you weren't doing the contract that year, but you'd done it in previous years. But I was going to say, what's great about having you on the show is I think that was the only time we've ever met, and then beyond then we've sort of, you know, kept up to date with what we're doing on Instagram and stuff. But yeah, it's been like 5 years since I first met you, and that was the only time.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
God, yeah.
Although you seem to think we actually did a whole season together, but
well, in my mind, I know I've seen you play at least more than once.
Yeah, yeah, probably.
I swear I saw you at the. So before the season, for those that don't know, there was this like what do you call it, the gala thing.
Oh,
you basically perform your shows for the season to all the entertainment department. Or whatever they call that
there's like
thing.
it's like a training month, isn't there? So you do you get there in April, but you don't start the shows till May. But you have a month to learn your show. But every night you'll watch someone else's. Are you there for that then? Or?
Is that because have they at that point can they go, "Oh no, sorry, you're shit"?
Yeah, and that
like
did. That did happen.
Double check.
Yeah, no, that did. Curtis, did you know about this? I don't want to name him, but there was a drummer in the rock band when I did my year out there, and
Nikki Beach.
It was. No, it was Tom Lane. No, and he just couldn't cut it, so that was why they got Nick Dart back. But it was literally like days before they were about to do their show. And I kind of got on well with this drummer, and he was just like, he just couldn't do it. But I remember, Nick and the rest of them getting really worried about it. But that's essentially what the first month is for. It's not to, see entirely if you're shit, you can't, carry on, but it is just to rehearse. But so anyway, you came to one of these or something?
I must be getting mixed up, but I swear I saw you with Owen doing the Blues Brothers show at one of these opening night things, but I think I must be getting confused with watching Nick do it. Yeah. Nick Dart, who bizarrely is now playing with my old band on one of the ships as well. Very strange crossovers going on.
Well, we'll come to that.
We will, yeah.
But I kind of, I want to start the chat just by talking about Mallorca, because that was sort of our common ground. And what I was saying, the beauty is that, like, I know you to an extent, but I also, how many years did you do the Mallorca gig, and how did you get into it? And was it your first thing? Yes. Not to just hit you with 3 questions there, bam, bam, bam.
No, it's all right. I can handle it.
Yeah. Throwing a 4th. No, I won't really.
No, please don't. Yeah, so I got the Mallorca gig was my first ever sort of, I call it my first real drumming gig.
Yeah.
and I found the audition on Star Now. This is when I was 17, and
Wow.
I lied and said that I was 18, and I got the audition. I know. I met Nick and Daria in London.
Yeah.
And I didn't actually have to play, which was the strange thing, but I was very pleased about that.
Yeah.
Somehow I got the job on my personality and videos, I think, which I find hard to understand. So yeah, then I did the contract in 2013.
Wow.
Yeah, so
Age 17? Or?
I was 18 by the time it started. That's why I felt comfortable lying about it.
Yeah.
I didn't. It wasn't a lie. I just left out that fact, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
None of your business.
Yeah, exactly. Because that's
enough.
That's early. That's young to do
Yeah.
that contract.
so.
You know.
I was terrified. I remember actually, my family drove me to the airport. It was the first time I'd ever been away on my own or flew on my own, anything like that. And I just remember being in the back of the van with my little sister drinking a beer, absolutely just terrified, mainly for the flight actually, because I used to hate flying, but also just the going away for so long, and it was such a new experience. And yeah, I don't actually often think about that, but like most things, when you're scared of the unknown, it normally turns out to be a great decision. It always has for me anyway.
Yeah, definitely. I remember I thought that before I did it. I thought, well, whatever happens, even if it's shit, it'll be like a life experience, because I'm going to Spain for 7 months. You know, it's like, so how many years did you end up doing it in the end? Because
so this is where my memory is sort of a little bit grey now, because there was I was confused about whether we were doing a contract together. So I did 2013, and then I went back for a month to fill in at the end of the contract the following year, I believe.
Right.
And then I think I skipped a year, and then I went back for a full season the year after that, I think.
Right, okay.
So in total, I did 2 full contracts, I think one in 2013, one in 2016.
Right.
And I did a month in 2014, if that's
was that
right.
that filling in for someone that left?
Someone got fired, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Again, not naming names, but
yeah, say no more about that.
Yeah.
Unless it's good chat. Is there a funny reason why they got fired, or?
I think they were just quite hard to work with, and
all right,
yeah. Better not name drop or anything.
Yeah.
But then I took, I think there was like 3 or 4 months left to do, and I couldn't do them all. But Nick was nice enough to let me do one of the months I could do, and I brought a guy that I knew from back home to come and finish the rest of the season.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah, you did quite a few years then. That's because I did 1 year, and it kind of, by the end, I was sort of drained from it all. To put it bluntly, because this is what's interesting about it. It's like, it seems, I remember when I did my season, it was a really rainy English summer. And I remember, you know, there was times where it isn't totally great. And I tell people back home, you know, it's not as good as it always seems on Instagram. They're like, nah, what are you talking about? You live by the beach, it's fine. You know. So yeah, I mean, we'll get to the good bits, but this is what I thought would be great about having you on the show, is to discuss like, a peek behind the curtain of what it's like to do a contract or a cruise job or something where you're away from home for a long period of time, doing the same shows every day. And admittedly, you are playing drums every day and you're getting paid, and you know, you don't have to worry about where you're living or foods really. But there are obviously downsides.
Sounds pretty good to me.
I know, but this is what's good. Like, so were there any parts to it that you just found tricky, you know, almost to peel back the curtain?
If we're talking still about the Spain contracts, at that time in my life, because I was so young, I was on cloud 9. I absolutely loved that first season. I was 18. I don't know how to put that nicely. I was just having a really good old time. Yeah. And I loved it. The one thing I remember missing were carpets and rain. Yeah, very strange.
I miss rain.
I really missed a good rain, and it rained like 2 of the days I was there. I'm not kidding, 2 days. I swear. And just the smell of the rain, I was just so happy. I went out and got absolutely drenched, and I loved it. Yeah. But apart from that, I miss my family as well. I'm really close with my mum and my nan. Yeah. And so I miss them. Yeah. Well, that's fair, because you are away for, you know, 2/3 of a year. Yeah, exactly. So what were the good parts then? Just let's stick to Mallorca for now. I mean, you know, you kind of said it
you're 18. I mean, was that fresh out of college and then straight into that job, or did or school, or?
Yeah, kind of. I went to music college. I was supposed to do a 2-year course, and I decided to drop out halfway through the first year because I decided I wanted to be a chef.
Right.
Working in my mum's pub, and I was sort of seeing one of the people that worked there. Yeah. And I was in love with her, like all the people I fall in love with very easily. And I decided I'd be a chef based on that, basically.
Yeah.
And then I got fired by the same person that I was in love with.
Oh, no.
And so I was left with no job and no college.
Yeah.
Broken heart.
And a broken heart, exactly. Yeah. Yes, Ben. And about that time, I saw this advert on Star Now, and it all went from there, really.
Fair. So is there a reason why you stopped doing the Mallorca gigs, or is it just kind of came to a point where?
I think I just like to sort of keep it fresh. I don't want to do. I really enjoyed the Mallorca gigs. Honestly, I really enjoyed working with Nick, who gave me the opportunity, and I'll always be grateful for that.
Yeah, definitely.
I guess I just like to do new things and try other experiences while I'm young enough and doing this.
Yeah, of course, definitely. So beyond Mallorca, what was next? Because I mean, I've seen you do cruise work. Is it with the Wild 80s band? Did I say that correctly?
Yeah, near enough. Yeah, they're called the Wild Boys.
That was it.
And they do 80s covers. They're a great bunch of guys to work with. Really, really good show. Well, I've seen your Instagram. You do sort of 1 week cruise contracts and things like that. That always seems like the dream, just to go away for a week and then come back. So, I mean, let's talk about that band. How long have you been with that? Because that seems like quite a solid, thing you've got going on band-wise with this group. How did that come about, and what cruises have you done, basically? Okay. Well, I met Rich, the singer and band leader of the Wild Boys. I don't know what year it would have been. Probably, I'm going to say 2015, 2016. Yeah. And I was actually on a contract.
I'm going to instantly doubt you because.
Yeah, you could.
Just pick a year.
I don't know what I'm saying.
Is that the year that
pre-COVID?
Definitely pre-COVID.
Pre-COVID, and that's the accuracy.
Okay, it was around that time anyway. I knew him for basically a long time before I actually got to do a gig with him. I auditioned and got the job, but then I was offered a contract, so I went away, and it meant that I couldn't actually perform with him for quite a while. But further on down the line, that's actually how I got into the bigger cruise ships. I'd done some cruise ferries, which I wouldn't recommend, really.
Was that as in just like small cruise ships?
Yeah, they're like tiny little, they're car ferries and people ferries.
Wow.
But they go over the North Sea, the ones I did anyway. One was between Hull and one was between Newcastle and Holland. And they were a laugh, to be fair, but the sea is super rough usually. Yeah. I had 2 of those, and they were in winter. The crowds are kind of just people travelling from point A to B, and sometimes you get like a load of football fans, and it's really rowdy and it's funny, but other nights it could be dead. Yeah. And you live on deck 2 next to the engine. It's a dry ship. There's no alcohol to drown your sorrows.
My God.
Yeah, it was the right thing for me to do at that time, but never again.
Yeah.
Anyway, though, with the Wild Boys, they took me to do the guest tent shows on Royal Caribbean, and we did a few of those. I think I'm going to say another year, 2019, maybe 2018.
Who knows?
No, 2018. Who knows? We did a bunch that year, and I absolutely loved it. And but I was looking at we were hanging out in the crew bars and stuff, and I just thought it looked so amazing to be a crew member on one of those ships. Just from an outside perspective, it looked great. So I decided that I'd try and get an actual gig in like the house band or something like that, which is what, just by luck really, my mate Tom McCormick needed a drummer at that time and asked me if I'd want to do it. Just I hadn't reached out or anything. It just so happened to be at the same time that I wanted to do it. And I was like, yes, definitely. And he invited me to join his band Impulse, and I did 1 contract with them. And then I went back for a second contract, which was like the second iteration of that band. A few members changed over. And that was in March 2020.
Was it though?
Yeah, no, it definitely was. That one definitely was, because what happened in March 2020, we all know.
Yeah.
So I got quarantined.
Wow.
on the
Okay,
ship.
let's discuss this. So what happened then?
So we were opening a new ship called the Celebrity Apex, and we were in Saint-Nazaire, France, which is quite a cool place actually.
Yeah.
For the first couple of weeks, we were going to the local pub, the Dehydrated Whale, which was amazingly fun because you could like pour all your own beers. It was great. It was a great time. We were installing. There was loads of people in the entertainment department. It was really fun. And then COVID became a thing, and so we weren't allowed to get off the ship anymore. Very quickly, we got quarantined, and we ended up staying in a cabin for like 2 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah, that was a bit toppy.
2 weeks, and then you're allowed off, or as in like
2 weeks, and then they flew us home.
Yeah. Wow.
No one really knew what was going to happen. I remember being absolutely terrified about it. I don't know about you guys.
Were you locked like restricted to your cabin, or could you free roam the ship still, or was the quarantine like?
It started off. None of us were allowed to leave the ship, and then it became that none of us were allowed to leave our cabins.
Wow.
Yeah, and I was in quite a fortunate position. I was in a guest cabin, but some people were below decks with no windows for 2 weeks.
Jesus. And also, a lot of the time,
probably got cabin fever.
Oh.
Yeah, probably where it comes from.
Probably. Mate.
Well, also because a lot of these cruise jobs, you have to share with someone, don't you? So if you got, quarantine and you with a bass player, a bass player you don't like.
I actually was sharing a room with a bass player. Just luckily, I really liked him. He was an absolute legend, an amazing player as well. Called The Glove. Check him out on Instagram. He's insane.
Wow.
We will. We'll post a link to The Glove.
Yeah.
Fantastic. I've never done a cruise contract. How different is it? I mean, aside from the fact that you're on a boat, how different is that to the Mallorca contract? I mean, are there, what are the similarities, but also what are they?
Prefer?
Yeah, which do you prefer? That's a good one.
I don't know. It's quite similar in the fact that it's a hotel that floats, really, and just sort of you wake up and the hotel's moved. That's basically it. There are a lot more rules there's a lot more rules as a crew member on a ship, and that is one thing I didn't like.
What are those? Yeah. What are sort of those restrictions?
So,
are you limited to certain parts of the ship?
Most people are, yeah. There's such an internal like hierarchy on a ship, and entertainment department is quite high up into the pyramid or whatever you call it. So we were allowed to go into restaurants and be about the ship if we wanted. Couldn't go in the casino or the pools or anything like that on this for Royal Caribbean. I screw up those. Excuse me. What am I saying? Oh God!
This out. It's okay.
It's an art. It's an art.
You burped and then forgot where you went.
Don't edit that. That's funny. All right. I really have forgotten what I was saying now. I'm so sorry.
I asked where could you and could you not? Were you restricted where you could go on the ship?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like the cleaning people and lower down or whatever, they're not allowed to go anywhere. They have no.
Cleaning people and bassists.
Bassists. Yeah. I can't say the word bassists.
Bassists.
Yeah. They don't have any privileges. Drummers right at the top. With
captain probably.
Yeah. He asked me to try the ship one night. I was like, nah,
and you got lieutenants.
Yeah. Bass players are right down there.
Are there restrictions on alcohol consumption on a cruise ship? As in, none allowed?
On some, they're called dry ships. So those ferries that I told you about, they're all dry ships. But the cruise ships, and I'm going to talk about the one I did. Yeah. They say you have a limit of like 2 beers, but did we follow that rule? No one does. It's just to cover their own back.
So how do you is it easy to get around that?
Basically, if you break your leg and you're really drunk, they're not liable. That's the way I understand it. Right. Everyone gets drunk, and they drink way more than 2 beers.
Yeah,
just don't be an idiot. Basically.
How do they even try and enforce that?
Like it, man.
Do you get given like 2 beer tokens at the start of the day?
Beer tokens? I wish. No way, man. They extract as much money out of you while you're on there as possible. True. Yeah.
It is.
What about other drinks and food? Do you have to pay for that?
All your food is included in the buffet. There's also a crew mess, which I ended up just going to more than anywhere else because I couldn't be bothered to get dressed up and go to the guest areas.
So you can't just go willy-nilly.
No willy-nillying.
No,
in
no
your cities.
willies out when you.
No willies out in the buffet area.
Yeah.
Rule 1,
Yeah.
2 minutes. Rule 2, don't get your willy out when you're wandering around.
Yeah.
That's an important one. Yeah.
Very important one.
You also can't have any relations with guests, no sexual relations, which is very, very strict.
Well, is it even worth doing a contract if that's a rule? I mean,
exactly.
Yeah.
No, not in my opinion.
no.
Rule
no.
5, if it's a saga cruise,
Ah,
you don't need to worry about that rule. There's not going to be any rule out. Like we don't, we're not going busting for cobwebs on this cruise.
let's not be ageist.
I don't know where to go from here after all that.
Yeah. Okay. So food.
Ben,
free.
you take it for a bit.
You say you have to pay for beers. Do you at least get soft drinks free?
You get water and you get very, very bad coffee. You can. They have a discount for crew. So in the crew bar you get a Corona for $1.50 or whatever, and in the crew cafe you get a cappuccino for $1.70, and this is all in dollars. So it's not terrible.
Yeah.
But
What's the longest cruise you've done?
I'd say it was about 400 meters long. It's really long. Yeah, all right, okay, fine. 7 months.
That was quick.
That was bad. That was bad, wasn't it?
10 months, did you say?
No, 7.
Oh, 7. Still, that's a long
think.
time to be on a boat. Because I think surely that's the difference between Mallorca and a cruise. 7 months must feel longer, right? If you're on the sea.
I don't know. There was a lot more change of scenery in.
The sea's quite big.
It is quite big, yeah.
Yeah.
Famously
Big
large.
and wet. Not if you go to Skegness. It's brown.
That's cruise. I mean, is there anything else you wanted to ask, Ben?
Would you recommend doing one to other drummers out there if the opportunity
100%.
arose? Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, I mean, it's an amazing experience. I wouldn't want to be doing anything else. Over lockdown, I was a digger driver, and that was actually weirdly a childhood dream. But
yeah, that actually does sound quite fun, to be honest.
It actually was so fun, but I wouldn't want to be doing it for much longer than I did it.
No, fair enough.
Cruising just blows that out of the water.
Here we go. Love business. Here we go. Like Vic and Bob, am I?
I kind of want to talk more about your original stuff.
So my question.
Yeah.
The segue. This is how I'd segue, George.
Yeah.
Take note. Yeah.
I do a blunt segue. I just go, that's done. What next? But what's yours?
Mine is, what did you do between contracts when you're back home? What do you do when you're not doing?
Okay. In terms of drumming or just in general?
I guess mainly drumming, but let's say you've been away 7 months sailing the 7 seas. You come home. Are you at a point where you're sort of, because you've done a long contract, you come back and you're like, you don't have anything lined up? Or, does it keep you out of the loop a bit?
That's a good question.
You come back and you're like, you've got things ready to go, or you've got other projects and things. Do you have a little cry when you first get back? What's the adjustment like, and what do you then get back straight into doing before that?
Very, very good question. There's definitely a danger of losing your phone book or whatever you want to call it. Like if you go away for 7 months, as George will probably be able to attest to, people forget you exist in the space that you were in before. If you like gigs in the UK and stuff, so
people forget about me when I don't go away for 7 months.
I nearly didn't invite you to this. Just forgot.
No, but that is true. I will say, just before we carry on, that is something I didn't mention. Is it is a bubble? I remember being a bubble. It seems like you're only in Spain. You're that far from England, but in terms of when I went back, it was it almost felt like I had to start again. Start again, because it's weird because you're so out of that. You've missed a whole summer of gigs and everything going on, and you might be forgotten for dep gigs or anything. But
completely.
So anyway, carry on. What were you saying?
Yeah, well, basically,
interrupted.
no, you're fine. I'm sick of talking already. you are sort of forgotten when you go away. So one thing I'm planning to do in the future, and have done before, is to try and build like an online presence where I can be posting regular videos just to remind people that I'm still there and I'm still playing drums, and the other things I do, like production and things like that, because I don't want to sort of like be out of the picture completely. There might be some edit. I feel like I'm terrible at this.
No, you're doing great. None of this is getting edited.
You're doing better than George, let's put it like that.
Yeah. I always think I do okay, and then I listen back and I'm just a fucking mess. My questions last about 2 minutes and people are like, is he going to finish this question? You know?
You have such a nice podcasting voice though, so...
Well, yeah, but I don't make up for it with content. I just, you know...
Oh, I think you do.
So, to get back to... This is going to be a nightmare to edit, Ben.
I'm really sorry.
This one. No, to get back to... coming back to sunny old England, and re-immersing yourself. What have I done now?
You're not doing yourself any favours, George.
What's going on?
Going, I ramble on. People say I ramble on, and then you just rambled on. For something that really didn't need to be.
I was trying to get back to
Curtis,
the answer.
what do you do when you're not on a cruise?
Thanks.
Oh yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's the question. Oh, is Geordie sad now, look?
I'm just exhausted from myself, to be honest. No, carry on.
Okay, when I'm not on a cruise, I do a lot of function gigs. My mum runs an ABBA tribute band, so I sometimes do gigs with her on drums.
Is she in the ABBA tribute band?
She is in the ABBA tribute band.
Which one is she?
She does them both, and the boys. No, she doesn't really. She's one of the two girls, Anietta or Frida. And so did both my little sisters as well. They also do the ABBA, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
And do they do that with a live band?
Yes, sometimes. Sometimes they'll go out as a 4-piece with tracks, and sometimes they'll go out as a 5-piece with a drummer as well.
Yeah.
That's a cool little thing. I've got other friends and stuff who run bands, so I'm kind of lucky that when I do come back after being away for a while, I do have work lined up because of those connections, I suppose. So,
well, that's good. So, I love this. It's my favourite one yet.
Oh my god.
Ben, do you want to save us?
Yes.
That was the loudest Eminem grab I've ever heard.
I'm sorry.
Subtle grab of the famously quiet snack M&M's in a glass jar.
Oh my god!
I know it'll be subtle for a podcast recording.
I didn't think it'd be that
glass on a tractor. There we go.
Ow! It's a meter away from the microphone. I had no idea to pick it up like that.
Yeah, that was louder. That was louder than anything you've said.
Really? Wait, have I got the microphone back to front? Hello?
That would be funny.
Hello? No.
Do you do any studio work?
It's just funny because that was such a well asked question.
No, it was. I'm so sorry, guys. I've just gone off the rails on it.
Don't worry.
No. This is great. This is great.
It's great content.
Sweating.
I do. Do you want to ask a question again?
Yeah. Do you do? Do you do any session work in the recording studio?
Yes, sometimes. I'm definitely not a studio drummer. I record at home. I have like a little home recording setup, and I do remote drum tracks. And that's about the extent of my studio playing there.
Do you have a live kit set up for that?
As in like a permanent
acoustic kit, you know?
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Not permanently set up. I used to, but I moved from the place that I was at, so now I'd have to go set it up in a room and throw the mics up and all that.
So what is your current setup, just to bring it back to drums?
It depends on the gig, really. If it's the 80s band, I go over the top and have a million drums and a million cymbals. I don't really have like a setup that I do because I play lots of different gigs. Like,
Is that like one kit you're manipulating, or do you have like a few kits you pick and choose from?
At the minute, I have one acoustic kit that I use really, and I've got one electric kit, and sometimes people need an electric kit.
What's the acoustic kit?
It's a Tama Star Classic, I think.
What's the finish on it?
Shiny. What's it called? Vintage Marine Pearl.
Okay. Is it gold?
As in the hardware or the?
No, as in the shells. Is it like
it's
gold?
sort of like like a pearl, but like a.
I swear I remember seeing your kit once, and it looked exactly like mine, and I was like,
yours is sparkly, isn't it?
Gold and sparkly.
Yours is very nice. I like your kit.
Ben's is purple and sparkly.
Oh my god, is yours a Star Classic as well, Ben?
No, I've got an Apex Saturn.
Oh, very nice.
But we have the most flamboyant kits, you know, to cancel out our lacking personalities, I guess.
That why not? Why not
exactly. Yeah.
I agree. I like it to be visual and cool to look at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially when you're at the back of the stage, you got to do something only to attract attention.
Exactly. Yeah, and I mean the lights coming off it. I'm not even taking the piss now. You know, if you get good lights flashing, it's it's great. So, well, I mean, let's go through some of your drum stuff. Cymbals. What kind of cymbals have you got?
Are you brand loyal?
No. Well, I am brand loyal in the sense that I have like OCD, and I don't like. I wish I wasn't like this. Honestly, I'm not endorsed by anyone.
Yeah, you're speaking to.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm not endorsed by anyone, but I really struggle to mix brands.
Yeah.
So I use one popular brand that begins with Z, but there's no affiliation there. I think.
Say it.
Yeah, we can say it. We are trying to get an endorsement deal from anyone.
Oh,
so
okay.
Right. Feel free to list everything you want.
Yeah. Feel free to endorse me, Zildjian. I also really like Peisty as well.
Yeah.
I bought a set of minor cymbals, but I just couldn't. They just felt wrong. Just the logo. That's it.
Peisty.
Yeah. Do you say pasty?
I've just always said, and this is from a place of never been corrected or never cared to find out. Paste.
Yeah.
I've always said paste, but
I think I say paste as well.
But you know, Nike, Adidas,
Reebok,
Hammer, Tama.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I don't know.
Variety is spice of life.
I think I've heard Peisty.
I think
they say is it Minal?
I just think I was Menal.
Minal.
But I think it's not.
Okay, so you got your Zildjians, right?
Yeah.
And you're reluctant to mix brands.
Yes, but there's no good reason for that.
I was in the exact same boat until last year.
Oh.
Yeah.
So now you are sort of like repop. Oh wait, how do you say that?
So I've been Team Zildjian since but first bought, you know, decent cymbals, and last summer I bought a Sabian, Sabian, or Sabian. Sabian. Yeah, and it was. I wanted a crash that I could rock out on. I do a lot of that sort of stuff, and I had a K Zildjian.
Okay.
And I put a crack in it.
Oh no.
It wasn't cutting it for me. It wasn't bright enough. I wanted something a bit brighter, and I went to Graham Russell. Shout out Graham Russell.
Have you heard of Graham Russell, Pers?
I have. Graham Russell drums. I think I bought something from them.
Yeah.
Or him.
Probably, yeah. It's
right where we are.
Yeah, it's right where we are.
No way.
Yeah. But it's I think it's the biggest drum shop in the UK.
I've seen lots of drum shops say they're the biggest drum shop.
Yeah.
I think it's like, this is the best pizza in New York.
Yeah.
You know, this is the best drummer on the cruise ship.
Yeah. This is the best South Coast drum podcast, you know.
That is undeniable.
Yeah, exactly.
But I went and I thought to myself, be a big boy now. Be a big boy and just see what Sabian have to offer. Or at least another brand, and just see. And I think I tried 8 or 9 different crashes, sort of 18-inch, 19-inch.
And you picked based on sound, not look.
It sounded the best. It just sounded the best.
Good for you.
Most, I prefer studio drumming to live drumming.
Okay.
Overall, So
that's hard, man. I'm way better at live drumming. I can't do studio drumming.
So for me, you know, it's going to be recorded a heck of a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I just wanted to make sure if I was going to, you know, on such in my setup, such an important cymbal, if I was going to spend, you know, upwards of 350 or whatever, I just wanted the best sounding one.
Yeah, it makes so much sense, doesn't it?
And I was a bit, I don't know, not sad. I was happy with the cymbal, but I felt like I'd let myself down.
Yeah.
So do you still have a mixture of brands then?
Yeah, so it's Zildjian, hi-hats, Crash and Ride, and then Sabian.
Yeah.
Yeah, so three Zildjians, one
I
Sabian.
mean, why not? If you're not getting paid to endorse someone else's brand, then why not?
Yeah. I'm playing both sides, so I always come out on top.
Hey.
Yeah. So if either company want to get in touch, drummandrummerpodcast@gmail.com. I don't think it's that though. I think it's drummandrummerpod@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Send us that in.
Either way, send us some stuff, please.
Are you a gear man? Are you quite obsessive about gear? Like, do you have particulars? Or are you just like, whatever? I'm
kind of whatever. Apart from the mixing cymbals thing, which is actually, if you look at my Instagram, you'll see that I'm lying. Because I have mixed cymbals, definitely over lockdown. But right now, at least, I have all.
We all did silly things in the pandemic.
Oh, yeah, it was a crazy year.
It was a crazy year.
I'm not definitely not as much as some drummers in particular are like gearheads. No, not at all. Because half the time I'm playing a kit that's not mine. And I just, honestly, when it comes to drums, I really enjoy the variety. There's a lot of brands I like. I don't feel like I've always wanted to play Timer since I was a kid because my favourite drummer, Simon Phillips, always played Timer. And that's the reason I bought that kit. I like a lot of different drums. They're a lot of money, aren't they, to just keep buying drum kits, and a lot of space to store them.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, I don't own a snare weight, but I feel like I should. That seems like the latest trend. It sounded really good.
Yeah. What is a snare weight? I'm gonna just.
It's like this leather dampening ring.
All right.
It's instead of putting a wallet on your snare or something, if you want that deadened sound. Or good old gaffer tape or towel or whatever.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that makes sense.
A lot of drummers are using it. Like a couple of guys I follow on Instagram who are really, really good drummers and really well followed, or whatever how you'd say that, popular. They use them.
It seems like, why hasn't that been done before? Because the amount of times people put a wallet down or something.
I just see it as the same thing, really.
Yeah,
it's a more neat way of doing the wallet, but I think the wallet is cooler.
Yeah, exactly. Showing off.
It's got all my money in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish.
That's be a fine thing.
I wish my wallet had all your money in it. That's what I mean.
It's got an overdrawn debit card in it.
So I was going to say quickly, you mentioned that you prefer live drumming to studio drumming.
Definitely.
So, I mean, in what way? Let's explore that.
I'm just better at live drumming. I don't know why. Like studio drumming in itself isn't.
What do you define as better?
As in, I get panicky when there's the record button on.
Okay, yeah.
And when it's live, I don't have that feeling at all. I'm just very in my comfort zone. I suppose it's just what I know, and you don't have an option to not be comfortable, sort of thing. I find it fun. I like the actual performance side of things, which, George, I admire you as a player because you're one of the best performers as a drummer I've ever seen. The whole standing up and.
Well, first of all, thank you. Disagree with that, but that's due to lack of technique. I have to stand up just to do something else.
It's because he shat himself.
I know what you mean though. Like, I remember, Ben, you saying this to me once, because for a very short while I was interested in being an engineer at the studio, but then kind of wasn't that interested, I found out. But we were discussing the difference between live drums and drums when you're recording, and we were just, I think you were putting together a mix, and you were saying if this was live, it wouldn't matter that it isn't perfect, because once it's been played live, it's already gone. That's why, like, if you make a mistake or if you play something in the wrong place, it doesn't matter. No one's seen.
It's like playing live is, it's a linear thing. It happens and then it's gone.
Yeah.
And it's the moment that everyone in that room's enjoying. Whereas the studio is archival. Is that a word?
Yeah.
It is now.
It is now.
But I think that, that's kind of
producing something that is a definitive sort of concrete thing that
True.
then be sort of will live on long part. I mean, right, okay. So I've got quite a lot of stuff on Spotify, like that I've drummed on or I've written or been involved or recorded and all that. Now I have a question, and this is sort of similar. So I once posed a question. We were doing a gig in this big kind of country house thing, and I said, at what point in the future will this building not be here, right? And does that make sense?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, but what's going to cause this building to not be here? War? Is it just going to get neglected?
Guys, I'm as fascinated as you where this is going.
I am actually.
Yeah, right. So we're going to die, you know.
What?
At some point.
Thank you. That's been Drum and Drummer.
We're going to die.
Death is coming for us all.
Shit's going to still be here that was here in our lifetime. But at what point is that building not going to be managed and kept up by a group of people to its current standard, and eventually it will fall into disrepair, and it will, or will it be there forever? But surely it can't be.
Not in its current state, no.
Yeah, so at what point is it a civil war? Is it eventually in, and I'm not talking 50 years, I'm talking 100, 150, 200.
I suppose it depends on the quality of the craftsmanship, doesn't it?
Yeah, what happens, you know, because it's all a bit tense, even today.
Yes.
You know? But my point being...
My God, finally.
My point being, when I die, right... Yeah. Will Spotify still be a thing? And will that music outlive me?
Yes.
Will it be, because, you know, most of it is just digital, so it's stored on some servers somewhere. You know, I've got a couple of CDs in my house, but no one makes CDs anymore. Yeah. But will Spotify as a thing still exist?
I assume your things aren't only on Spotify.
Probably on Apple as well. But, you know, Spotify as an example... That is a record of, you know, you just think about how many millions and billions of tweets there are. They're all essentially archived.
Yeah.
And what a snapshot of this generation and the next. And eventually I'll be dead, but you can still hear me drum on someone's song.
Yeah. Hopefully.
But, I suppose, will Spotify die? Will something happen to the industry or to tech or to something where Spotify doesn't exist in 50 years?
I know what you mean, and also that could then be
MySpace doesn't exist anymore.
No, and then you could have a case of
the best thing since Bebo, or whatever it was.
You could then have like vinyl would then outlive Spotify.
Well, that's it.
Know?
Yeah,
like
what's going to last
physical
longer?
Things.
Yeah,
that's the thing, isn't it? Like the house.
Where are your live
or the
gigs
record.
when you're dead? Everyone can hear my stuff on Spotify.
Was that the point?
Post-apocalyptic. No, it wasn't the point. What I like, I enjoy the process of studio recording, and I like getting it down. But then I like having it as a record of something, you know.
Yeah, definitely. You know. And I'll be honest, I think it's quite rare. I don't know if you feel the same way, Curtis and Ben. It's it's rare that I've drummed on something and have been fully proud of it. You know what I mean? I feel like I've done a lot of, I don't know, not loads, but like certain people I played for, I'm sort of going, well, I wouldn't have done it like that. Or, you know, if you finish a song and it gets put out and then you go, I might not show my friends this because I don't think it's as good as, you know, it could. Or I'll say, hey, listen to this, but just ignore the lyrics. The lyrics are shit. You know what I mean?
I think in response to your never knowing or never wanting to share the stuff you've done, I definitely feel the same. Someone said to me recently, don't let the perfect be the enemy of the good, or something like that. And I think it's quite important to keep that in mind, because like life is not perfect, is it? No. We are just humans and we're not perfect. And I definitely don't like everything I do. I mean, half the time I don't want to sort of show people what I do either, like you just said, because I don't feel like it's good enough or whatever. But I think it's important to just put it out there anyway, because, you know, if you don't do it, there's nothing.
No, and that perfectly goes back to what you were saying about having an online presence, you know. And that's I literally I said it to you the other day, Curtis. You know, I was saying about how I just put up videos from function gigs, and even though that's not the coolest thing to put on Instagram, I go, at least it shows people I'm playing. Because
I think you're cool if you're doing your own thing.
Yeah, and I think if you just look,
it really is a case these days of just reminding people you exist, isn't it? It's reminding, like, I'm still doing this.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, are you still doing the music? Yes.
Yeah,
Mum.
exactly.
X Factor.
Yeah.
You should
that's a
go on X
classic.
Factor. You should fuck off, mate.
Yeah. Nan. Fuck off, Nan. Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
no, not really.
Nan, if you're listening, I love you. It wasn't from me. It was George who hates his Nan.
Anything else you want to... I mean, what do you want... So, Curtis, what do you want to ask me?
Oh, my God. You put me on the spot now, man.
No, I'm joking. You don't have to ask me anything. You said it before we began, but...
What are you up to at the minute? Let's talk about you. Edit out that awkward segment, but... George, what gigs have you got going on? You got the original gig, haven't you?
No, not really. You're about Ren?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did one because their drummer wasn't there, but I don't know how many gigs she's even doing. I feel like she does a lot of different things, and I don't know. There isn't much going on original wise. It's a lot of function stuff at the moment.
Okay, fair enough. What about the Oh, sorry. Finish what you said.
No, I was going to ask about you. I just wanted to ask about what kind of original stuff you're doing, because we haven't really delved into that.
Okay. At the minute, I'm writing all the time. I have been writing for years, but I've never, going back to what we just spoke about before, I never really felt pleased with what I was doing or like it was good enough.
Yeah.
At least after sitting on it for a few hours, editing it and just picking it apart and doubting it or whatever. But I feel like I'm closer than ever to actually releasing original stuff that I've written. I'm working with a guy called Seb, who just is, I think, one of my favourite songwriters I've ever heard, and he's not really known yet. And we're working on original stuff together. I'm really excited about that. I'm hoping we'll probably release stuff next year at some point. I'm also really trying now to get into original work only as a drummer.
Right.
So only, or at least predominantly, doing original tours and stuff, even if it's a bit of a financial hit at first, which it almost certainly will be. I think one of you said about I think it was Ben, you said something about doing some stuff, this is before we were recording there, doing some stuff for fun or that's fulfilling to you, and some stuff for money. And I think I've done enough gigs that don't really serve me as a person, that only serve me financially, and I think it's really important to do stuff that feeds your soul, so that you don't just hate what you do.
So your original stuff, you said you've been writing. Is that you singing? You playing guitar? You drumming?
Everything on the demos, at least. I started writing for the first time when I was in Mallorca, not with George, as it turns out.
Well, we did do a season together, but maybe not that one. Yeah.
You've forgotten it though, obviously.
Yeah, maybe it's my fault.
Maybe it is. Maybe it is you that's forgotten it all this time.
Someone's gaslighting someone there.
Yeah.
What's even real anymore? I don't know.
Yeah, I've got a lost year from that year.
But yeah, on the demos, I am singing and playing the instruments and stuff just enough to get the demo out there. I actually kind of really wanted to be a singer for a time, and then I did an open mic, and it was so stressful. I got alopecia, no joke. So I decided that singing wasn't for me. Yeah. But yeah, I sing backing vocals. I'm happy to sing live from the safety of a drum kit, but I'm not a singer really.
I find a great security being back there with the kit around me.
Yeah, there's definitely a comfort blanket, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've done gigs where the stage has been small or whatever, so I've had to be in the middle and at the front, and that's been strange.
I hate it.
But still have the drums there.
I want a line of musicians in front of me just to protect me from the absolute wankers at these fucking weddings.
Oh, if you're talking about a wedding, I want to be as far back as possible, away from the brother of the groom and the father of the bride and all those idiots that want to play drums.
Have you any stories encountering that? I mean,
I have. Yeah. Have you guys though? Tell me.
Well, yeah, and I've learned from Ben to put a blanket over my kit now, which is
great idea. Yeah. I take my drum stool off, so it's just a spike there.
Yep. And if someone's going to take that gamble, they're going to get a fucking Mapex stool right out of their taxi. Yeah. bag closed under the rack tom. Under the floor tom.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Stall top off. Get that under the floor tom as well.
Barbed wire around the outside.
And then I bought this double sheet, black double sheet, and I throw it on. I've been doing it for years now, and I have a laminated sign that says "Do not touch the drums."
Brilliant.
And ever since I've done that, no one's touched my drum kit.
Especially not with your balls.
if that to take that off and not see the sign, that's like a massive sort of violation.
That's a violation.
So it stops people. Don't do that, but that's where they draw the line.
I bet they still do it anyway sometimes, don't they?
They've never have.
Really?
Actually, they never have since I put that sheet on.
Brilliant.
No. They might come and ask, "Oh, is it all right if little Timmy's got cancer? Can he play the drum?" No, he can't.
Oh my God.
No, he can't.
That is one thing I don't mind at all. If there's a kid watching, just to make you sound like an absolute twat, if there's a kid,
I've done that enough times on this podcast.
I'm joking. If there's a little kid, then I don't mind them playing.
This is my thing, because I'm between you two, because I say yes, but then it opens up the gates, you know. And I had it at one wedding. They can this girl play? Yeah, of course. And then 8 bridesmaids wanted to go, and it was chaos.
And on the drums.
Hey!
Oh, there we go.
There you go.
Yeah, I just keep the floodgate. I just keep the gate shut.
It's probably not a bad idea.
Last summer we're playing, and then this old man comes up to me. He's like, "Oh, I'm the father of the bride, and for the last 6 months I've been learning how to play Learn to Fly by Foo Fighters. I know it's in your set list. Do you think I can play it?" I went, "No, sorry," and just counted in the next song.
Savage.
But that was while you were playing, though.
Like, not you, Curtis. Fuck this guy. Like, no, fuck off.
Yeah.
Like,
well, it's your drums, isn't it? Your rules.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. I had a drunk guy once ask me if he could play my drums at a wedding. They're the worst places ever. And I was like, no, man, sorry. It's like, And he was like, okay, yeah, no worries. Then he came back 5 minutes later, and he's like, "Mate, would you mind if I just played your drums? I promise I'll be really careful." I was like, "Oh man, I'm sorry. No, it's like they're expensive, and I don't want them to get broken and stuff like that. I'd just rather not." He was like, "All right, fine." And he came back 5 minutes later. He was like, "Mate, just let me play your drums with you. Like, they're just drums." I was like, "Mate, I'm sorry. It's my livelihood. If you break them, I'm not gonna be able to earn my living or whatever." He was like, "Oh, it's fucking pathetic." I was like, "Jesus, man.
Yeah.
Would you let me give the keys to the car?" And, well, your missus. That's what people say, innit?
Go.
Not me.
If you're gonna, you said you listened to 1 or 2 of the podcasts, Curtis.
Yeah.
If you're gonna go and listen to another one, which I think you should.
I will.
Episode
Not to this
3.
one, though.
At least this one, yeah.
At least this one. I will listen to this. At least episode 3, titled "You're Not Travis Barker, You're Just Some Cunt from Newquay."
What?
and listen, I tell a story about my first gig back after COVID, and I think you'll enjoy it based on people.
Well, the title sucked me in right away.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
It is the worst wedding gig I've heard in terms of everything going wrong.
I've almost thought about buying a really shit drum kit just for weddings, so I wouldn't actually care if people go and played it.
Yeah.
That'd probably be a happy solution, wouldn't it?
It even happened in Mallorca. I remember, I don't know if you heard at the end of your... Because you remember when we finished our sets in Mallorca and we'd have to do... I don't know what they called it, but you'd basically...
PR.
Go and talk to the crowd. And it was weird because you'd finish the set and you'd be sweaty or whatever.
Ben's grimacing.
Yeah.
Yes, yes,
Ben, it is your worst nightmare. We had to go straight from the stage, not even backstage, just straight into the crowd.
What every gig?
Every gig. And just go and thank everyone. And why?
Part of the job. That's the rule.
And
people look to you like, "Why are you talking to me?"
Fuck
yeah. Because they're just having a drink. They might have not even really wanted to watch the show. It just happened that the table was in front of the stage, and then
there was a band in front of the table.
Exactly. And but I remember during that stuff, sometimes people would come up and be like, "Oh, can my kid have a go?" And then the kid would have a go, and then the dad would then want to go.
What?
Like, whoa, this wasn't part of the deal.
Oh my god.
And I kind of, I don't know. I feel like part of me thinks it's cute. I'm like, oh, bless them. But also another part of me is like, come on, let's wrap it up. Because, plays a bad beat. I don't care if you're 6, you know, plays a beat that isn't very good. And then everyone's applauding more than they applauded the fucking Soul Brothers. And I'm like, you know, Owen Hopkins was rife with anger at that. No, it wasn't really. But that kind of invited it to happen, you know.
Yeah.
You have to.
Well, I was the little kid always wanting to play people's drums, so I would just be wrong to be angry with and like continue playing the drums. When it's an adult, it's very different. If they want to play drums,
I think
I'm
so.
probably gonna say no, but...
Yeah, definitely.
I would want to play someone the drums, but I was too scared to ask.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I think we've talked about this before as well.
But I did play drum kit at a holiday camp once when I was about, 12 in like the talent show. But I thought that was slightly different. I was a talent show, and that was talent in inverted commas. And the drummer did let me play the drum kit. And if that makes me a hypocrite, I don't care.
But it does go back to that thing of like, if you're, you know, an adult and you go up to someone and go, "Oh mate, I'm a drummer, can I have a go on your kit?" It's like, who are you trying to prove to? You know what I mean? Any drummer friend I have wouldn't go up to a drummer at a pub and go, "Can I have a go on your kit?" Because, you know,
it's a very different world though between being an amateur musician and doing it for fun, and doing it for a job. And I don't think those people mean any harm. They just don't understand.
No.
They don't see it from our point of view or whatever.
Yeah, definitely.
Which, it's a little bit hard to deal with sometimes, but...
I like that. You've been the voice of reason. Ben and I are just like, fuck all these guys.
Fuck all the kids with
actually,
cancer.
let's think of it from a diplomatic point of view. No, this is good.
Actually, sorry, going back one quickly.
Yeah.
The only person that ever crashed the stage in Mallorca was my nan. my nan ran on stage and started playing my drums when we were doing this. Another thing we had to do, Ben, was dance at the end of at the end of the gig.
Yeah.
Actually,
I feel like I can still remember it. Yeah, I did enjoy it. I took it way too seriously.
You kept this very quiet. How was Mallorca? Yeah, play drums. Absolute bullshit. Fucking dancing. You got to go and have a chin wag with fucking John and Sally from...
Yeah. Well, the dance was weird, Curtis, because I remember I remember we did a gig once, and because you know the dance would happen like as soon as you as soon as you finished, before you had to go and talk to the people. But I remember I don't know, it was like the end of the season. It was October. There was no, there was less staff. People had gone home. We finished our gig, and it was Soul Brothers, and also, by the way, just. That time, one of the Soul Brothers left, so it was actually more like a Soul Brother show. And
the Soul Brother,
the Soul Man.
Yeah, look at how you spell in soul.
Yes, exactly.
But
did you get it, George?
I do. Yeah, it's good.
Funny.
Even if I didn't, I would have played along just to be at the big boys table of banter. Anyway, so we finished the gig, and but there was no one to run on. No guy like, "Hey, that was great, wasn't it? Now we're going to do the dance." So we just we were like lost, but then the crowd like asked for another song, and I remember Owen Hopkins, he was like, "What do we do?" And I was like, "Well, we just got to play some more tunes again." But it was weird. I was like, that's how it should have been. As much as I actually did quite like the dance, finish there, and then let the crowd be like, "Hey, let's have some more." Instead, the crowd be like, "Hey, let's have some more," and then we just dance for 5 minutes. And
some of them absolutely love doing that dance though.
Oh, I love doing dance.
Yeah. No, not us. I mean, I ended up liking it as well, but some of the guests loved it.
Any envy I had for the two of you about doing a season in Mallorca has completely disappeared.
Yeah, you said you wanted to see behind the curtain. This is it.
Yeah, this is it.
This is the bit that doesn't make the Instagram reel.
No, although I feel like there's a video of me doing it.
To see it.
Yeah, no, I could find a video today and send it. We'll put it on the Instagram.
Please do.
Yeah, that'd be good.
I could probably remember the steps still, it's so ingrained, because we would have done it about 160 times at least,
163 times or something like that.
That was exactly the number of gigs I did. And I remember that.
No, I was joking.
No, that was weirdly, that was
what? Really?
Yeah, in that odd. I remember it being 163.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So there was a lot of, that was behind the curtain. It wasn't just a gig. You don't have to do a dance and talk to people.
Curtis, anything you want to give a shout out to? Your Instagram or anything? You're on there, aren't you?
I thought about this. Oh yeah, my socials.
Yeah.
I thought you'd like my nan. I'd like to thank my
We can
mum.
do that as well.
Yeah. No, it's all right. There's lots of people to. Oh, thank you guys for having me.
That's all right. Thanks
I'm
for coming on.
absolutely flattered and bewildered. Follow me on Instagram at Curtylou.
Curtylou.
Yeah, CURTYLOU. That's probably the best place for me. And then, if you feel so inclined, I have other socials that you can find.
We'll get
there.
the links off you and we'll stick them in the episode description.
Oh, that's really cool.
Direct
Thanks, man.
people your way from our socials.
Thank
I had
you.
a flick
I'll
through.
do the same. Oh, did you?
Yeah, good drumming, man.
Oh, really? Thank you very much, man. Appreciate
For
it.
the people listening, what a handsome chap he is as well.
Ah,
Exactly.
you're too
Putting us
kind.
two bald cunts to shame.
There we go.
But thank you very much for your time, man. Thank you
Yeah,
for coming on
really.
and chatting.
Thanks
It's
so
been a
much for
very
having
good
me.
laugh.
Yeah.
A bloody good laugh.
Good luck here with the editing.
Yeah.
Well, let's say goodbye.
Oh, we're not said. I thought we'd gone already. Okay.
No.
Let's do it now.
I dropped my
Thank you,
card.
Curtis, for coming on.
Thanks for having me, Ben and George.
We
Thank
shall
you.
see you soon. Well, that was a lovely chat with Curtis, wasn't it?
Lovely chat with Curtis.
Yeah. And now I want some M&Ms
Yeah. Yeah. The loudest snack in history.
with me at all times. Just a glass jar of M&Ms.
I quite like that it went off the rails, but we just managed to keep it afloat, you know, the interview.
Much
I mean.
like a cruise ship.
Wow, there you go. My God.
Yeah. Shock
What a-
news, George.
Go on.
There's no Tom of the Week this week.
No Tom of the week.
No, saving it. And it's not because I'm running out of Toms. Let me make that absolutely clear. There's plenty of Toms in the bank. We're just having a week off from it because we had a lovely long chat with Curtis. But we are going to go straight into the drum dumpster. There's something down there.
What the hell is that? You got tossed into the right dumpster.
Okay, now this is actually something Curtis mentioned.
Yep.
If you were listening carefully, he mentioned the snare weight. And we
Yep.
kind of ignored it for 5 seconds and then kind of went, sorry, what?
Yeah, what did you just say there?
So I've been on Google. Have you heard of Google, George?
Oh, just about.
Yeah.
But barely.
You
It's new,
strike me-
isn't it?
You're not a Bing man, are you?
I'm a Bing man. I'm a
Oh, fuck.
Yahoo man. No, I'm not. really.
Yahoo! Ask Jeeves. Do you remember Ask Jeeves? Or are you
I
too
do
young?
remember Ask Jeeves.
Yeah.
You can ask it anything. Well,
What
good.
was it? There was another one.
You know, we said
One
we're
with
going
a
to keep
dog.
this.
There was one with a dog.
You know, when you said you're going to keep this short and tidy and we don't have time.
Yeah.
Let's not get distracted by the dog. Do you mean not the Churchill dog? That's a completely different.
No.
Watch my chops.
I think it was like a black Labrador. There was some sort of search engine. Anyway, drum dumpster, the snare
Drum
weight.
dumpster. Snare weight.
Now, Curtis mentioned, obviously, a lot of people put wallets on their snare drums
Yep.
to show off how much money they've got.
However, they can move. They can move about on the
Yeah,
snare.
that's sort of to like dampen the snare, isn't it?
Yeah.
Really? Do people
Yeah.
do it for a volume thing?
I do. Well, I only ever do it if I'm in a really loud room and the snare's really, really pingy. And
Yeah.
I think, but you know, you got ozones, O-rings now, and moon gels. You know, I almost think a wallet is perhaps overkill. But I think maybe in recording and I don't know, just to really deaden it. But yeah, it sounds like the perk of the snare weight is that it does what a wallet does.
They've taken a wallet and they've taken out the money,
Yeah.
flattened it out, and made a little clamp.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
essentially
exactly.
just because they're made of leather. Looks like they're made of leather. But there's this kind of like gold little thing that you just pop on your drum and you clip it to the rim of the snare. And then within that you can attach different lengths, different sizes of sort of these leather
Yeah.
strips that sort of go around the curve of the drum a bit.
Yeah.
To sort of, I guess, be a you know, a
Be
wallet,
a wallet.
but
yeah. It almost seems like just the most deadening thing you can do. You know, it almost feels like it's like moon gel, O-ring, and then snare weight.
well, I
you know.
guess this is the whole point. Is that so you don't have to put your wallet on, and
Yeah.
you don't have the issues that just putting a wallet on gives you. Size, you know, thick because you've got loads of money.
Exactly.
It's definitely not all Nando's loyalty cards, and it tapers around sort of the edge of the drum. So yeah, be interesting to try one out.
Be interesting.
Snare weight, get in touch, send us one.
Yep.
Prove us wrong.
Prove us wrong.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
But we'll put a link to it in the episode description. Go check out the snare weight.
We will. And thanks for the recommendation, Curtis. And thanks once again, if you made it this far, for being on the show. That's to Curtis, by the way. He might have switched off.
No, he switched off.
Yeah. As soon as we started talking, it's just us two. He's gone, nah, I'm done.
Yeah. Oh, do us on it, mate.
Yep. Brilliant.
Have a good week.
You too.
I will.
Enjoy the Lego.
Yeah. I'm 37 now. Each week
And
will be my last.
Bye.
See you later.
Thank you for listening to Drum and Drummer. You can find us on Instagram at Drum and Drummer Podcast. And you can send us an email to drumanddrummerpod@gmail.com. Remember, just pick up the sticks and twat it.